Center myself here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am first going to really quickly start off with an apology and a preface because we are right in the middle of a bathroom addition / reno, and the neighbors are in the middle of putting in a pool or something. So there's a lot of noise going around, and rather than try to reschedule this, I'm just going to work around it. I'm using my noise canceling microphone, so hopefully there's not hopefully there's not too much noise. Okay, so if there is, I apologize. I'll just do my best to take a break when it gets a little bit loud, and we'll just make it work, right? This is what life's all about. It's about going with the flow and just letting whatever it is be what it is. So we'll get into it. Let me just, okay. And I am going to be referring to my notes. I was going to make a like a slide deck presentation for you guys to follow along with, but I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to look at some notes and talk to you, and we'll have a conversation basically. At the end of the training, there is going to be opportunity for live Q&A. So definitely stick around for that. If you have any questions from the previous 5-day workshop, I know a lot of you guys here have already taken part in the 5 steps to manifest anything workshop, and I hope you've enjoyed that so far. If you haven't had a chance to see those replays yet, they are available until the 21st, as is this replay as well. Okay, for anybody who is new to me or maybe hasn't had a chance to go through the workshop yet, or maybe this is your first dive into it because you're maybe late to the party, that's fine. I just want to welcome you to the Introduction to Awakening, the real secret behind manifesting your dreams. Thank you so much for being here. I am very grateful for your time. I do anticipate this taking about an hour and a half-ish. I want to be respectful of your time. If we go over that, I do apologize, and I will leave the Q&A to a brief 20 minutes or so. Excuse me, I have something in my eye that I have not been able to get out yet. So who knows, maybe that'll be another fun part of today. So before we get started, I want to ask everybody, please keep yourselves muted until the end. Okay, like I said, I will open the floor for Q&A at that time, but if you have a question in the meantime, you can always pop it in the chat and I will go through the chat near the end. Okay, please turn off all of your distractions, get yourself something to drink maybe. I've got my coffee here. I will be taking brief sips here and there. You guys know that I talk a lot and I'm gonna need the hydration. Okay, go grab a pen, grab a notebook, some paper, whatever you need, get comfortable, and let's get into it, okay? Like I said, I estimate this will run about 90 minutes or so. If you need to leave for any reason, like I said, the replay will be available until the 21st, so don't be afraid to duck out and come back later. Okay, for anybody who doesn't know, my name is Danielle Gray. I'm a manifestation and mindset coach, universal law mentor, and transformational teacher. I'm also the host of the You Can Manifest podcast, which I know there hasn't been a new episode for a while. Part of what we're talking about today is some stuff that's been coming up for me recently. I have very honestly just gone through some very intense spiritual up-leveling. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to let the pieces fall where they may. I'm going to let this ride itself out, and then I will create some new episodes from this new place, new YouTube videos as well. So if you are new to the podcast, go ahead and go and binge. I think there's 21 or 22 episodes, and there'll be more very shortly. Okay. I also have a growing blog and a very infant YouTube channel, like I mentioned, that I will give everybody the links to in a little bit. In October 2020, I was named one of the 20 mindful thought leaders guiding us into a better 2021 Inside Business Insider, among names like Dr. Joe Dispenza and Marissa Peer and Deepak Chopra. And that was an absolute honor, very, very humbling. And then again in January, I was named one of the 10 female leaders disrupting their industries in 2021 in Disrupt magazine, among names like Whitney Wolf, who founded and is the CEO of Bumble. And that's that, women empowerment dating app. I have not used it myself, obviously. I've been married for quite some time, but it allows women to really sit in the driver's seat and take control, and they're the first ones to reach out, which I really think is cool. So some other ladies that were in this article with me were Reese Witherspoon and Sofia Vergara. So again, very, very, very exciting and humbling. And I'm excited to share all of what I know with you guys today. So I'm going to give you a quick little background. I started my spiritual journey officially in September 2017 when I finally followed through on a recommendation from a friend to watch The Secret on Netflix. Okay. I felt immediately called to discuss this stuff with the world. I was already in network marketing, so I was comfortable sharing my thoughts via Facebook Live. So I started sharing my newfound love for manifesting and the law of attraction. It wasn't long before I realized that I was destined for this line of work, although I avoided it for the longest time and even longer than I care to admit. Even though I talked about it for months, I didn't open my own online coaching practice until November 2018, after my husband was forced to take a medical leave. And I thought, well, there's no better time like the present. I figured the universe was kind of testing me to see how badly I actually wanted it. I had been talking about it for some time and I hadn't, for whatever, pulled the trigger. And I thought, okay, well, put your money where your mouth is. So I jumped in. And then it was not long after that I realized I was totally misaligned with my actual purpose. And I had initially started my career in relationship coaching. And I think ultimately that was literally only because I was not confident enough and not ready enough to be seen for the real spiritual person that I was. Okay. So in May 2019, I was no longer a closeted spiritual entrepreneur. I announced my switch to manifestation and mindset coaching, and it's been a whirlwind ever since. While I tried and failed badly to get my coaching business to the point where it could sustain my family financially, my resistance to my own success as an entrepreneur ultimately created financial turmoil. It was so bad. By July 2019, my husband and I were sharing sandwiches and skipping meals so we didn't have to worry about having enough to eat for our son. Our bills were piling up, collections was calling daily, even more frequently sometimes, and I lived in a state of constant anxiety and fear over what might come up, what we couldn't afford, what we can, how are we going to deal with this? If this comes up, what are we going to do now? How long can I dodge this phone call? What are they going to take from us if I can't, you know what I mean? It was not good. Anytime I went to pay for anything, I would get this really bad pit in my stomach. Oh my God, is this going to go through? Am I going to have to move money around? Am I going to have to put something back? It was awful. Actually, quite honestly, I'm very, very grateful for online shopping because it allowed me to, online grocery shopping, it allowed me to look at the total as I was adding things. So it wasn't like I had to go to the checkout and embarrass myself. So thank God for technology. I apologize if you can hear that drilling in the background. I think they're almost done. They're doing plumbing today. I finally realized that the only way to dig myself out of this resistance pit I had put myself in was to get a job temporarily so I could at least remove the financial burden from the scenario. Okay. My ego was very, very bruised. It was not a fun thing to do. My husband and I had many arguments about it because I was very stubborn about wanting to get my coaching business off the ground. But I just realized everything I was doing, the energy of needing to get clients and needing the money was coming off in the energy that I was giving off. And actually, a friend of mine who discovered her gifts for channeling spirits and guides very easily channeled some of my guides. And she messages me one day and she's like, this is the first time she's ever channeled for me. And she says, look, I didn't really want to say anything, but your guides keep coming through and they keep asking me to tell you that you need to pump the brakes a little bit. Basically, I don't remember the exact message, but basically it was look, everything you're doing right now, everything you're saying, everything you're putting out has this vibe of neediness and it is pushing away the potential clients. You are literally repelling them right now. So stop doing that. So, one of the only ways I knew how to do that was to take the financial burden out of the situation. Right. So I used my scripting process to manifest the absolute perfect job for me at the time that met all the criteria I needed. I needed it to be, close to my house. I wasn't interested in commuting, right? Because it wasn't going to be a long time thing. This was just going to be a short term, I just need to make some money right now so that I can go back to focusing on servitude, right? It had all the criteria. And I was actually working for a small business. I had only ever worked for big companies, big corporations, big 5 banks, luxury hotel chains, upscale grocery stores. I had only ever worked for big chains and franchises. So this was the first time that I got to work for somebody who was the face of the company. Like he actually, it was nice to finally be working for somebody who like directly benefited from what I brought to the table, because I had been grossly undervalued at all of my past jobs. Like my job right before I went on maternity leave, which was one of the turning points for me when I realized I at least didn't want to go back to that job. I didn't know necessarily I wanted to go into entrepreneurship, but I knew I didn't want to go back to that job. My boss, I was working for a financial firm, and my boss had a multi-million-dollar portfolio. And as an investment advisor, they're supposed to give their investment associates, which is what I was, a monthly like bonus. Like basically the wage you get is crap. It's kind of like, it was kind of like being a server. Like the wage you get is total shit. And then the money that's like worth working for, doing this shitty job for, is for the bonus that you get every month. But I didn't know this at the time, but the guy that I was working for was like, I don't know, extremely cheap, or I don't know what his problem was, but he was only giving me like $200 a month. And when I finally was leaving again, and I was telling one of the girls that, you know, this is what was going on and whatever. And she's like, you know, I felt bad for you. As soon as you started working here and working for that guy, I felt bad because I really like you. And I knew that he was not going to pay you what you're worth and blah, blah. Anyway. So anyway, I had been through a long line of not being appreciated for what I had. So I wanted to work for somebody who was actually going to appreciate what I brought to the table. Right. And it was going to see, like, experience firsthand the value and the privilege really to have me being his assistant. So that is exactly what I manifested. And it was, for the time being, like for what it was, for the fact that I had to go back to work, it was a fun place to be. Like the guy that I worked with, mostly his name was Doug. He was really funny and awesome. And he liked to talk a lot like I did. So it was nice. We got to shoot the shit all the time. And my boss was super easygoing. And it's funny, when I tell you I manifested the perfect job through scripting, I'm telling you, like, exactly. One of the things that I was really, really anxious about getting a job was having like office clothing, because I had gotten rid of everything I had previously owned. I didn't expect to go back to an office job. And besides that, when I did work in an office job the last time, I was so unhappy that I had gained a bunch of weight. So none of my clothes even fit. So I was like, I don't have any money to buy clothes. Like, what am I going to wear to work? I'm going to have to rewear the same outfits. I ended up borrowing clothes from my mother for the first couple of weeks of work, in anticipation for the first couple of weeks of work, because I didn't know what the dress code was or what I was going to have to wear or whatever. Well, thankfully it was like the most laid back environment you've ever seen. And my first day I actually giggled because I walked in and my boss is the one wearing cargo shorts and a tank top. And I thought, okay, well, I don't have anything to worry about. I'll be fine. So anyway, when I say it was perfect, it was absolutely perfect. So anyway, I needed to take the focus off of financial and back onto servitude, right? So I took this year-long maternity leave contract and vowed that by the end of the contract, I would be so successful in my business that staying on permanently after the contract ended would be detrimental to my success. The job posting did say specifically that it was a maternity leave contract with the potential for it to go permanent afterwards. And although I did kind of play with the security, I guess, of knowing that the job could go permanent, like I would be able to stay and I wouldn't have to go find another job in a year, was nice. But I did just decide, no, you know what? And I said it over and over and over and over and over again, like, I'm not staying at this job. I'm going to be so successful by the time this job ends, that even if he offers me like $100,000 to stay, I'm not doing it. And that's exactly what happened. He did end up actually asking me to stay full-time. He wanted me to stay as the permanent full-time like office manager, basically. And I got to respectfully decline. September 15th was my last day of work. And over the 14 months that I worked there, I started July 24th, 2019, and I left September 15th. Over that 14 months, I manifested some really incredible things, including a full scholarship to a business coaching program I really wanted to take that allowed me to ultimately create and launch my signature 12-month coaching and mentorship program, Manifestation Mindset Mastery, almost exactly a year ago today, actually. We're like 2 weeks away from the anniversary. So that's really exciting. And I am actually going to be discussing that program a little bit with you today, because I would love to extend an invitation for you to come and join me in the program. Okay. I also manifested an incredible VA. It was so funny. I was at my parents' house. I was talking to my mom about how I needed somebody to repurpose my content because, as you guys know, I like to talk, but I don't think it's the best use of my time to watch myself, right? And then write down what I said and then use it in content. So I needed somebody to repurpose my content. And then literally within 24 hours, a friend of mine who actually took the leap into virtual assisting from something that I said. I didn't really guide her to it, but it was something that I had said. Like I said, pursue your passion, basically. Like, what are you good at? What do people come to you for? She ended up taking a VA course, and one of the, I'm sorry if you can hear that drilling, I really apologize. I'm just gonna wait a second because it's pretty loud. Okay. Sorry. Thank you guys for being so patient with me. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I just didn't want to reschedule this. So anyway, so my friend approached me and she said, hey, like I've actually been taking this VA course thanks to your, kind of nudge in the right direction. Can I do a 6-week unpaid internship to repurpose your content for you in exchange for a testimonial and some portfolio work? And I was like, yeah, obviously you can. And then 6 weeks later rolled around. She had done an amazing job. She had helped me increase the engagement in my group and just was just like a godsend. And there's no way I could live without her. So I hired her on as my first team member to my growing team. Since I really buckled down to do the work, which is some of what we're going to be talking about today, the inner work I'm talking about, right? I've gone from literally scraping pennies together to buy groceries, like literally, to launches grossing $40,000 and $50,000 in sales, 5-figure months, $8,000 days, podcast interview invitations, guest speaker spots, resident money mindset and manifestation coaching spot. In the actual business coaching program that I manifested, I ended up becoming part of the team. And I've since left the program again. It just not that it's really important, but my take on how business works just wasn't aligned with that particular coach anymore. So we've decided to separate, but I love her still. And I'm very, very supportive of everything she does. And she's very supportive of everything I do. So it's all good. So I've been doing this manifestation stuff for a while now, right? And I have spent literally tens of thousands of dollars on coaching programs. Like I'm talking, I have invested money I don't even have. Like I've borrowed money from my parents even. I've put money on cards and taken out of savings and cashed out retirement funds. And like, I've done everything I needed to do to get where I am. Like I'm determined and there was no stopping me. So I just made it happen, right? Time and money is irrelevant. If something is important to you, you'll find a way to make it happen. And that's what I did. And I've literally spent probably hundreds of thousands of hours consuming content, reading books, taking courses, watching videos, and doing a lot of the trial and error, which I'm trying to help you guys avoid by sharing what I know with you. Okay. And a lot of what I'm teaching you here too is what I teach to my clients as well. Right. So there's a lot of value here, right? In this masterclass, I'm going to give you an overview of the 5 simple steps to manifest anything as it relates to the real secret behind manifesting your dreams. Okay. If you want to go more into detail about each of the individual steps, I encourage you to go back and watch the 5-part video training series, which is in the pop-up group, which I think you're all in. If you're not in there, send me a direct message on Facebook or an email to hello@daniellegraycoaching.com, and I will make sure that you're in the pop-up group so you can see the replays of those videos. It's about a total of 3 hours or less of content. Each video is about a half an hour long. Okay. And I'm doing this because there is no better time than right now for you to learn how to break free from the Groundhog Day self-sabotage cycles you're currently living in, so you can deliberately and intentionally create the life that you are crazy about, that fulfills you, and that you can hardly recognize as your own. Some of you may be thinking that sounds too good to be true. Like, who am I to have a life like that? How can I create that? Like, well, it's easy for you to say you've got X, Y, and Z and whatever, but I don't have anything that you don't have. I'm not special. If anything, it was harder for me because I am so stubborn. My ego is so strong. It took me a long time to recognize that there was a lot of things I needed to do that I wasn't willing to do. Okay. I just want you to know that a life of freedom, ease, flow, and fun is available to each of us. And who better to have an amazing life than you? right? If anybody is going to have a magical life that they can hardly believe is their own, why shouldn't that be you? Like, why don't you deserve that? I want to help you align and calibrate to that reality. I want you to walk around knowing that you're living your best life. I want you to wake up excited for your day, not dreading going to a job you hate, right? Or doing anything that you don't love to do. That's not what life is about. Can you guys hear that drilling? I really hope not, but so here's the problem though. Most people are using manifestation as a band-aid solution, right? They're coming at it from the wrong angle. But I want you to know the truth. Okay? I want you to know the truth about manifestation, about the universal laws, what it really takes to be a manifesting machine, what it really means to be a manifesting machine. This truth will help you become more successful in your manifestation game than you ever have before, while simultaneously becoming the happiest you've ever been. And the best part is, like the best part, once you know this truth to be true for you, the manifestations that result are merely icing on the cake. What started life as the main objective quickly becomes the secondary benefit of something much more magical and amazing than you could have imagined. Okay. And like I said, definitely stay all the way to the end, as I've got a special offer for you guys. Okay. I'm just going to, Katina says, yeah, it's all good. We can hear you clearly. Okay, good. Okay. You guys can hear me still? Okay, good. It's so loud. I think at least I've got a good noise canceling microphone. So the more closely aligned and calibrated you are to your own divine nature and your higher self, your innate and inherent ability to co-create with the universe, the easier everything is and the better at manifesting you become. But the kicker is, as I kind of hinted to already, the more closely aligned you are to the more closely aligned you are to your own divine nature, the less attachment you have to the things you're manifesting. And thus you become a literal magnet for anything you have even show preference over. Right? Like one thing that starts to happen as you align more to your true self, right? Not to, I want to manifest the things and I want to do this and I want this and I want that and I want to create this and I want to call this in. But the more you actually align to who you really are and what you're actually here to do, the less importance you're giving to the things you're manifesting. And like I say, the funny kind of paradox of that is because you're not giving importance to that anymore, because you're not focusing on the things, you're more focused on, who you're becoming. You become a literal magnet for all these things. Like I can't even tell you the things that started to happen for me once I recognized this to be true and why I wanted to do this for you guys. It's just little things like, okay, so example, my husband and son and I rode our bikes down to the grocery store down the street. It was like a family market kind of a thing. And they've got a little deli where you can go and you can buy sandwiches or sausage rolls or whatever. And normally around lunchtime, there is a crazy rush of so many people, right? And of course now because of COVID, you have to stand so far apart. So the line looks like extremely long normally, right? And like normally you go in there, you're waiting like 20 minutes easy to even get to the thing where you're ordering your sandwich. And it's fine. These people are awesome. I love supporting the small business. The sandwiches are good. It's just a bike ride away. Like I don't mind doing it. But when I started really aligning to who I really am and stopped focusing so much on what I was trying to manifest, but just focusing more on how I want to feel and how I want my life to operate and how I want to flow through my day, I really did start flowing through my day. Like, so we went to this grocery store. It should have been very, very busy. I walk in, there's no line. I walk right up, I order my thing. And as I'm standing waiting for my sandwich, the line starts to pile up, right? Like I had missed it narrowly. If I had come in 30 seconds later, 1 minute later, I would have been in this line, right? But those are the kinds of things that line up for you so nicely. Or, we were driving with traffic all the way, well, not all the way. It was like, 25 minutes to the nearest Costco from where we are. It should have taken us way longer to get there, but we hit all the green lights. There was no traffic. There was, there was traffic, but it was flowing. Like we were not stopped by it at all. The traffic coming the other way was crazy. And the traffic on the radio sounded like it was nuts. Like there was accidents all over the place. But for us, it was just a smooth in and out, right? Just quick, quick, quick. And then while we were at Costco, ultimately, we ended up being in the wrong line, it turned out, but we ended up getting ushered to the very front of the line because it turned out we were in a self-checkout line that we shouldn't have been in. But my point is, those are the things that just line up so beautifully for you. Like I should have been waiting in line at Costco for another at least 30, 40 minutes because of all the people that were there and the way that they've got it going on. But because I accidentally got in the wrong line and then was ushered over to the right line, right to the front, that's the kind of thing that you don't really consider that to be something you want to work towards. But if you experience something like that in every single day or multiple times a day, how amazing would your life be if things just worked out for you, if things just flowed for you, if you just knew that things were just going to work out in your favor, right? That's what I want to help you guys get to. Okay. So let me just explain this in one other way, in kind of a deeper, kind of a more woo-woo way. Okay. You and me and everybody here and everybody on the planet is an individualization of source energy. Okay. We all are. We are all just awareness living in a human vessel, basically. Okay. And each vessel has their own blinders onto certain things in the world. Each of us is here to experience life in whatever way we're meant to experience life from, in our own perspective. So as a whole, the universe can experience all of life. Does that make sense? We're each here having our own, like, it's kind of like we're each playing this role. We're each going out and getting our own research and taking it back, right? So that the universe, the source energy, the God energy, whatever you call it, has this very well-rounded view and experience of the world from all different angles. That's why we're all having such different experiences. Our journeys are all different because we are all just individualizations of the same energy, and that one energy wants to experience life on all planes, wants to experience the contrast and the magic and the everything, right? So Dolores Cannon explains it in a way that makes a lot of sense to me. So she explains it as each of us being threads of a gigantic tapestry, okay? And every thread plays a pivotal role in the overall tapestry, right? I mean, you wouldn't be a tapestry if you didn't have all the threads, right? And each of us is represented by a thread, and all those threads weave through this tapestry. Everywhere they overlap is a soul contract, an experience, a lesson, a challenge, an interaction with another thread, as the universe plays a very intricate game of co-creation with every soul on the physical plane. Okay. And remember that everyone is always manifesting all the time. You've probably heard me say before, one of the things I love most about the law of attraction is that it doesn't matter whether you believe what I'm saying or not. I don't have to talk you into it for me to know that it applies to you. Right? You can think I'm totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? And yet the law of attraction still applies to you. And because the law of attraction applies to everyone, whether they're consciously utilizing it or not, everyone is always manifesting what they're placing their attention on the majority of the time, right? And all manifestations must come through other people. So for example, like the couch you want for your family room is not going to fall out of the sky, right? You're going to get a nudge to go across town to that furniture store you forgot about. And the family who owns that furniture store has been praying for more business. And here you are looking for a couch. So the universe kills two birds with one stone and has the two parties rendezvous. This is what it means for something to manifest for the highest and best of all involved, and what I mean about everybody's threads intertwining. Okay, you guys following me so far? Okay. So first, I'm going to quickly do an overview of the 5 steps to manifest anything. So this is going to be a little bit of a refresher for anybody who attended the 5 days, although I am going to go into it deeper and kind of from a different angle. But if you want to really dive into each of the 5 on their own, I really recommend that you do the 5-day workshop. But if you don't have time to do that, or you can't catch the replays or whatever, if you're only seeing this one, this will be enough for you to get at least the gist, okay, of what's going on. So step 1 is clarity. Okay. You absolutely cannot manifest anything without getting clear on what you want and why you want it. Most importantly, how does what you want feel? Right? You need to get clear on both the mental and emotional reasons you want the thing. If you only have mental clarity, like I want $20,000 a month, that's good, but it's really nothing more than a nice round number, right? You basically just stated what it is you want. There's no emotional connection to $20,000, right? Like, you can pull any number out of your ass you want. It doesn't matter. If you don't have an emotional connection to it, you're not going to have that clarity you really need, right? You need to have that emotional clarity too. So, okay, emotional clarity, let's use the same example. Well, I want to make $20,000 a month consistently so my husband and I can take over the house expenses for my parents-in-law as they approach retirement. We'd like to repay their amazing generosity over the years. and give them some really great financial freedom to do as they please without any real responsibility. I would like to have some significant dents in our leverage balances while also stockpiling cash in savings and investment accounts, all while never sacrificing fun or freedom. I want to be able to do anything I want, including tipping 100% at dinner, booking vacations, investing in my own personal, spiritual, and business development. Like, I want to be able to, if I see a coaching program that I want to take part in, or if I, am introduced to a coach I want to work with, I want to be able to say yes or no in that moment, completely independent of what the price is, right? The investment is not relevant. I want to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, no matter what the numbers say. Okay. Or, even going and finance a new vehicle. Like, if I decide tomorrow that I want to go, buy a new vehicle and finance it on monthly payments, I want to be able to do that. Okay. I don't want to have to consult anything or move anything around or like check balances. I don't want to have to do any of that. Okay. I want to have an excess of financial support, and I want to enjoy an extreme level of comfort and ease that comes with that level of financial freedom. Okay. So you see how I went very, very clear into the emotions, right? This is not just, I want this number. Getting very clear on what you're manifesting and why will enable you to move on to the other steps of manifestation with greater ease. Okay. Ultimately, if you can get clear on what you want to feel on the inside, you can work backwards to decide what that looks like. Right. So that's, if you are coming up, if you're trying to figure out specifically numbers, if you're trying to manifest from a monthly income goal perspective, highly recommend, instead of just pulling some number out of your ass that you think sounds good because everybody else tells you should be trying to manifest this amount of money, figure out, what amount of money do you need? Like, what does your ideal life look like and feel like? What do you want to be able to do? What kind of expenses do you want to have every month? How easily do you want to be able to pay things off? How much debt do you have? How much money do you want to save? How many kids do you have? Like, what kind of expenses do they have? Do they play sports? Like, how much money do you want left over at the end of the month to be able to do whatever you want with? How much money do you want to be able to spend on new makeup or, taking yourself out for the spa, whatever, right? Like, work backwards, figure out what you want your life to feel like, and then work backwards and figure out what that number is. Don't start with a number and then try to make it fit your little whatever, because everybody is trying to fit into the same freaking cookie cutter thing. And that's not what it is. That's not what this is about. It's about you feeling the most fulfilled and happy and content and loved and supported you possibly can, right? And that is not going to come from money, right? Especially if you're manifesting money, you need to feel those ways before you have the money. And that's something that I learned the hard way. you have to feel all the feelings you want to feel that you think this money is going to give you before you'll ever be able to attract the money. And if you are able to attract the money, like maybe some kind of windfall or something, you end up having a big sale or whatever, I don't know, you win the lottery or something, you will not be able to hang on to that money. You will piss it away. It will get lost. It will get stolen. You'll get cheated out of it. You will not feel worthy of it, and you will spend it all. Okay. You have to do, and that's not just money. It can be anything. It could be a partner. It could be a job. It could be, anything that you're manifesting. You have to do these steps first to be able to manifest the thing and hang on to it. Okay. So like I say, ultimately, if you can get clear on what you want to feel on the inside, work backwards and decide what that looks like. And then if it is money you're after, then figure out what that looks like. Generally, a lot of times people think they want way more money than they actually need. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm all about having way more money than you need and want and whatever. And I plan to, trust me, like, I've got plans. Okay. But what I'm saying is, don't think that you can't be happy until you reach, this 10K months that everybody thinks that you should be making. Like, who cares about that? Are you happy? That's what's important. Do you know that you're supported by the universe? Are you utilizing your ability to co-create to your advantage? That's what's important. Do you look around at your life and are you happy with what you see? Does it feel good to you? That is what is important. It is not about the money that you bring in. That has nothing to do with it. And I'm telling you right now, and that's what basically this whole workshop is about. And I'm going to go into more in this in a minute, but I'll tell you right now, the quicker you can be fulfilled, I've got goosebumps right now. The quicker you can feel content and fulfilled and happy, like fully 100% actually happy where you are currently, the easier it will be for you to attract what it is that you want, because now you become a magnet for it. So loud, you guys. Okay. So, for example, maybe you want to feel free from financial burden, right? Maybe you're sick of having to shuffle things around. You'd love everything to be on auto pay, so you would only have to worry about keeping up a balance in your account and maybe paying off your Visa once a month or something, okay? So what does that cost? What are your monthly expenses? How much do you want to put away each month and above, over and above what you need and want to spend, share, save, whatever? What amount of wiggle room would you like? Once you find that number, for example, if we're talking about money specifically, you've got your mental and emotional clarity. Kaylee says, this is exactly why I stopped trying to manifest money entirely. I'm trying to manifest some of the things money could buy. Exactly. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give you just like a quick tangent thing, Kaylee. That's exactly because I say this to my clients all the time. And you guys have probably heard me say this too. It's not even about the money. Like the money is not the thing that you want anyway. It's the feeling you think you're going to have when you have the money, right? So instead of focusing on, what it costs, how much it is, focus on just having the thing, right? And then either the money that you need for the thing will come, or the thing you need will come to you in some way. Maybe you manifest it for free. Maybe somebody's giving it away. Maybe you end up getting it on sale. Like this was a huge aha moment for me. For you guys who have been following me for a while, you know that I was previously trying to manifest a house. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to stay where we are. We're going to take over the house we live in now. My parents-in-law, we're going to take care of them instead. And then look at getting some investment property. Investment properties instead. And have just some more, good grief, passive income coming in instead. So anyway, when I was manifesting this house, though, I realized that I was going about it from the traditional sense, right? I was thinking about down payments and monthly payments and this and that and whatever, but I was not considering that I could end up finding the perfect house on, like, let's say a foreclosure. So you get it at like a fraction of the price, or maybe I win one, or maybe I inherit one, or maybe, like, I don't know, anything can happen, right? But you cannot come at manifestation from a traditional sense. You have to come at it from, this is what I want. I know that I'm worthy of it, and I'm going to let the universe figure it out. Okay. Okay. So step 2 is removing obstacles, right? And removing obstacles is really diving in and doing the mindset work and battling the limiting beliefs and the negative thought patterns and the programming and all the shit going on in your head that is keeping you from manifesting the things. Okay. That's keeping you from thinking you're not worthy of the things. That's keeping you from, who am I to do that? And I'll just tell you right now, okay, like if any of you guys are suffering from like imposter syndrome or whatever, I'm going to tell you right now, that doesn't stop. Okay. Like literally a few days ago, I was battling it really bad. And then I got so many, you guys, I got so many nice comments and such great feedback over the 5-day workshop that it really did boost my confidence. And I take screenshots of all of that stuff and I save it for myself and I read it when I'm having a day, because as you continue on your journey, you will continue to hit the same, similar, and different obstacles. But because I know that imposter syndrome is one of those things that I'm likely to encounter for a long, long time. And I will tell you, because I follow a woman who makes, I don't know, 8, maybe even 9 figures by now. She sent an email out a few months ago that said that she still battles imposter syndrome and she still thinks, who am I to be doing this? I should get a real job, da, 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 da. And she's like, you make 8 figures and you want to get like, so I figure, well, if she still has it, then I'm definitely always going to have this, because it's just what it is. But at the same time, it's just not like, we're all just humans. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's part of the thing that we get in our own heads about, is we think that the people we're watching on videos like this have something that we don't have. But I was terrified to do this originally too. You know what I mean? This has not always been easy for me to jump on live and talk to you guys, but as I do it and I get more comfortable with it, I understand that what I say is actually received quite well, and you guys enjoy hanging out with me and I enjoy hanging out with you, and it's a fun thing to do. But I would never have gotten here had I not just done the work to identify those obstacles and go around them anyway. Do it scared, right? You have to just do it scared. Ready is not a feeling. I'm telling you right now, ready is not a feeling. It is a decision. So the second you decide that you're ready, you get clear on what you want, you get the obstacles out of the way, and then you move on with the steps, right? But like I said, most people are using manifestation as a band-aid solution. They're trying to manifest the things they think are going to make them happier without doing the actual work. They're not going to work on the inside stuff to identify the negative thought patterns and whatever else that is creating whatever's in their reality that they don't want and they're trying to get away from. Right? That was something that was really hard for me to swallow, is like somebody, I forget who it was. It was a James Wedmore podcast. I don't know if he said it or if it was the guy he was talking to on the interview, but he said, look around at your current reality and ask yourself, like, what do I have to believe to be true for this to have been created? Like, how did I attract this to myself, basically, right? And looking at it, because everything you're experiencing, you have attracted to yourself in some way. And sometimes that's hard to swallow, but you know what? That's what it is. So until you change what's going on inside, your external is going to continue to look the same. That's why when I say, even if you can manifest more money, for example, if you don't deal with what's going on and why you were having the struggle in the first place, you will continue to have the struggle. That's just the way it works. So you have to go to work to identify the obstacles and remove them. Okay. Now, some people will go at it from, like, some people will say, well, you have to remove toxic people from your life and you have to do this and you have to do that. I'm telling you right now, if you're doing the proper inner work and you are truly working towards aligning with your inherent innate nature of this universal, like, energetic being that you are, and not worrying about what everybody else is doing, you will start to up level. You will move up the levels of consciousness, and the other people will just start to fade away. Okay. The people who do not serve your path will fall apart. Relationships will fall apart. Friendships will break up. Clients will leave. I will tell you, I have had several clients come into the Manifestation Mindset Mastery program. And then as I have up leveled, like it's happened at least 2 times now, as I have gone through a serious, like, up level, clients end up falling off because they were previously aligned to where I was, but now their higher self, their wherever they are, is not aligned with where I'm going and where the program is going. So they end up falling off, and they don't realize it at the time. And even me, sometimes it's like, oh, well, that's too bad. But then you realize, well, you know what? They're not ready for where this is going. So that's fine. You know, it is what it is. But you have to go at it from the underlying issues perspective. You cannot go at it from, oh, if I just had more money, this would happen. Or if I just had this, I would feel better. Or if I just had this, this would, no, no. You have to have internal peace first, and then everything else will start to fall into place. Okay. And I will say one other little thing that I've noticed for myself and my clients and pretty much everybody else is things get the hardest right before the breakthroughs. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. Things get, especially like if you're manifesting, let's say, for example, because this has happened to me too. Let's say you're manifesting more money. Okay, you're manifesting a break in your income, like a break in your glass ceiling. You're manifesting more income. What will likely happen right before that happens is you will manifest unexpected bills. You'll end up having to drain your savings account. You'll maybe lose some clients, maybe lose your job, maybe, I don't know, payments are late or whatever happens. And it's going to look like, oh my God, there's no way I can do this. Like, there's no way the money is going to come. There is no way I'm going to be able to do it. You know, especially when you start looking at the calendar too, right? Like, oh my God, it's already the 17th. There's no way I'm going to hit my goal by the end of the month. There's no way. There's only this many days and I haven't made any, I haven't made any of this sales and I'm already this, whatever. But I said this already in one of the other videos last week. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Your breakthrough, your saving grace could literally be something that happens in the next 5 minutes. It could be something that happens at the very end of the day. It could be something that happens at the very end of the month. Like, it's not over until it's over. And the minute you start to doubt the fact that it's coming, you push it further away. When it looks like it's not going to happen is when you need to believe the hardest that it is, right? You have to. Otherwise it becomes a self-perpetuating thing, right? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You ask for it, but then you doubt it's coming. And then it doesn't come. So you're like, oh, well, I'm not any good at this anyway. This manifestation stuff doesn't work. Something's wrong with me, blah, blah, blah. Well, no. What will manifest is what you're focusing on. So if you're focusing on what you're creating and how nothing is going to stop you, because I'm telling you right now, I tell you stuff right now all the time, but I'm telling you right now, what you are asking for is literally on the other side of you realizing that you are already worthy of it and you already have it energetically. You just need to align yourself to the faith and the belief that you have it, and then it's coming. Not it will happen, it is happening. Not it will come, it is coming. Right? It is coming, it is happening. And then you'll get to a point where your momentum is so strong that you can't stop the thing from coming. You know what I mean? You'll get to a place where you don't doubt that it's coming. You get to a place where, like, I've actually had, it's funny. I remember distinctly having a conversation with my husband, and when I was still working towards manifesting the clients and the whatever, it was somewhere in the beginning of 2019, or 2020, sorry, before I had actually launched Manifestation Mindset Mastery. But when I was gearing up, I had been doing the work. Like, I was really diligent about getting to the place where I was. And so in my mind, I was already successful, right? I was already calling in the clients. I was already making whatever a month. I was already, da 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 da. And we were having a conversation, and he said something that was reflective of our current reality. And I just about stopped him to say, well, no, that's not what it is. But I'm like, oh, wait, what I'm going to say hasn't actually happened yet. So I can't, it's not really a valid argument because I don't have any proof, right? So I had to kind of catch myself. But when those kinds of things happen, you'll notice that you have hit that new level of understanding and belief, right? And then the third step, once you've done all of that stuff, and then the third step is to visualize and embody. Okay, you guys, this is so, so important because so many people are coming at this from the wrong angle too, right? A lot of people are trying to visualize them having the thing, but first of all, they're trying way too hard to visualize. Like, they're putting too much pressure on themselves. They think you have to be able to see it before it can happen, which is totally not true. And that's why it's so important to get really clear on how it feels on the inside, because there is no, like, I know some people think that, okay, once I manifest this, I'm going to be this happy and I'm going to be this, whatever, right? But there is no like untapped levels of emotions that you have to unlock at some level of like enlightenment or some level of income or whatever. The whole spectrum of emotions is available to you right now. All you have to do is tap into it. Okay. So if you can get very, very clear on how it feels to have the thing that you want, right? Which is why I'm saying get very clear on what you want your life to look like when you have this thing, so you can start to go from that place, right? You can just tap into the emotions anytime, right? Because then what you want to do is you want to, if the thing you're manifesting brings you great freedom and great joy, okay, well, you can get freedom and joy today. What kinds of things in your life can you do right now that also bring you freedom and joy? It's about aligning to the emotion, not necessarily like thinking about this thing you want to manifest all the time. That's not what it is, right? And if this is just like a side tangent thing, if you cannot think about your manifestation without it bringing you anxiety, then don't think about it at all. You're better off switching your focus altogether. Like, one thing that I will say, when I was going through some of the financial, turmoil and all that, is instead of trying to talk myself out of being anxious about the money, you just switch focus altogether. Do something totally different. Because as long as you're not giving any focus to the thing, it can't gain any traction. Okay. And fun fact, you've got 17 seconds for a thought to gain enough traction to take off and change your vibe. 17 seconds. So if you can catch it before 17 seconds and realize, oh, I don't want to think about this, switch your focus altogether. Okay. Or sometimes what I do is I will just stop and I'll just tune in and I'll just listen to all the sounds around me, especially if I'm outside, because then you can listen to all the birds and the wind and the traffic and the sirens, if there is any, and the whatever, right? But if you can tap into the feeling of what it is, it's going to be a lot easier for you to get there internally, right? Now, the next thing you want to do too is you want to change your identity, right? Like, you need to change who you are on an identity level to be able to fully embody the version of you who has the thing. So think about it. What does the version of you who already has the income, What is she doing? How is she making decisions? How is she spending her money? How is she saving her money? Right? Like if the version of you who you're becoming has a savings account, you need to start putting money in your savings account right now. Like you can't wait until you get there to start saving. You have to embody the version of you who already has the things now, right? So if the version of you who you're, working towards has a savings account, for example, start putting away 10% of every cent that you make in a savings account. Right. And then only if you have to touch it at all, only touch it for things that you think your ideal version of yourself would touch it for. Like, for example, if the version of you who you're creating is investing in mentors and group coaching programs and all that stuff, then you need to be doing that right now. The version of you who you're creating, if she's investing in group coaching and mentors and courses and whatever else, you need to find a way to do that. If you want a quantum leap, if you want it to take forever, if you want it to take freaking years and you want to trial and error and do it the long way like I did, then that's fine. You can do that. You can absorb all the free content and you can bounce around to this workshop and that and whatever, that's fine. I did that for a while too, but at some point you have to switch gears and go, okay, well, the version of me who I'm creating, the version I was creating is the one who knows these things and she's dedicating her time and she's taking the courses, doing what she can with the resources she has. But as you move up, you have to take leaps, right? I said this before, a quantum leap in your reality requires a quantum leap out of your comfort zone. What got you here will not get you where you're going. It will only get you right here. And if you continue to operate from the perspectives and the thought processes that you have right now, you will only remain where you are. Okay. And remember what you focus on, the content of what you're focusing on, not the nature, right? So if you're focusing on, I don't want debt, I don't want debt, I don't want debt, I don't want debt, the content of your thought is debt. So all the universe is thinking is debt, 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 right? You have to keep in mind that you will attract what you are focusing on, what the content of what you're focusing on is, not the nature of what you're focusing on, not the, I don't want this and I do want that. Whatever you're focusing on, the content is what you will bring about. Okay. So focus on becoming the version of you who already has what it is that you want, because then you will become the version of you who has what you want, right? And you want to create a quick statement that has intimate manifestation touchstones. We talked about this in video 3. Yeah, video 3. You want to get, and this is kind of going back to clarity, like all these steps intertwine, right? But getting back to clarity for a minute, why do you want the thing? Like make it very personal. Like I was giving you a whole slew of reasons very personally why I, have the money goals that I have, right? Or for example, like if you want a new car, how is it going to feel? Like what street are you driving down all the time? How do you spend your time in your vehicle? Like for me, I love, like one of my favorite things in the whole world is to drive by myself with my music way too loud, like obnoxiously loud, windows down, sunroof open. Like I need to have all the things. Okay. And then I sing and dance and make a total fool of myself. And you know what? It's the best. And so when I'm manifesting my new vehicle, I'm imagining myself through my own eyes, right? Driving my vehicle, and I'm imagining the dashboard and the steering wheel and the little Audi symbol and the listening to the radio and looking over and seeing my song playing. And I'm imagining myself dancing in my car. Like I know what it feels like to sing and dance while I'm driving because I was doing it when I had my other car and then we sold it and now I don't have it and I miss it. But it's not a stretch for me to imagine myself and see it through my own eyes doing it in another vehicle. Right. So my intimate manifestation touchstones would be something like, I love driving, to save on foods, to pick up my grocery order while I listen to Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey, my favorite song of all time, way too loud, singing and the sun is shining and the wind and the whole thing. Like you just get very, 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 very personal with it, right? Because that's how you're going to really get the emotional attachment and connection that you need and want. Right. And then you tap into that. You repeat that statement. You tap into that. The more personal you can make it, the better, because the more your brain will attach itself to that thought. Right. And then you want to sorry, this goes back, no, visualization. Yeah. You want to see it as a memory, not watch it as a movie. Okay. That's very, very important. You have to see it through your own eyes, like it's like you're reliving a memory, rather than watching yourself from a distance driving the vehicle or in the house or whatever. Does that make sense? Like looking at your bank account. You don't want to visualize yourself going to the bank teller to get your bank balance, or you don't want to visualize yourself checking your bank app. You want to visualize looking at your phone and opening your bank app and seeing the numbers there, right? How good does that feel? How do you feel when you open your account and you see that there's like $10,000 in your savings account and there's another couple $1,000s in your checking account, and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do today because look at all the money I have, right? Like I can pay any bills I want and I'm still going to have a couple $1,000s left over in my checking account. Like how good does that feel, right? Is that part of what you want? And then visualize it as if you're watching it as a memory, right? When you're reliving something, when you're reliving going out with your girlfriends or whatever, you're not watching yourself and your friends dance on the dance floor. You are seeing yourself and your friends on the dance floor. Does that make sense? And then, like I say, as you are watching this memory, right? And again, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between something that has happened and something that has not happened. So that's why visualization and embodiment is so powerful, because if you're telling your brain this has already happened, everything around you, all the forces that be have to conspire to make it true. Have to. That's just what it is. Okay. And then the fourth step is to take action. Nothing comes raining down from the sky. You have to take action. But a lot of the time, people think that taking action means doing more things. But I don't necessarily mean doing more things. I mean, open yourself up to be led by the universe and see what needs to be done. And remember that manifestation is a non-linear thing. Manifestation is not linear. There is no beginning, middle, and end with manifestation. There is no things have to happen in this order. Some of the coolest things you've manifested and that I've manifested, it doesn't seem to make sense. Like the timing doesn't necessarily make sense. But because we believe in time, right? Time is an illusion, by the way, but I'm not going to get into that today. We believe in time. So we also believe that things should take X, Y, and Z amount of time. We also think that there's going to be so much work involved, right? Like we think that we have to go, once we're making $10,000 a month, we have to be doing that for a few months before we're going to be able to make $20,000. And then we're making 20, it's going to take a while to be making more. I was just watching a video on this from this guy who he and a lot of his clients have gone from manifesting like 5K months all the way up to, like, this particular guy went from, I think he was making 5K. He went to making his first 20K in August of 2019. And by January, he made $150,000 a month. So it's not about the time it takes. It's about how quickly you can align to the version of you that you're creating. How quickly can you step into the identity? And how willing are you to go outside your comfort zone to do that? Because it's not going to be comfortable. I'm telling you right now, you're going to hit all kinds of obstacles. You're going to hit all kinds of limiting beliefs. People around you are going to tell you you're fucking nuts. Okay. So what's going to happen? You have to be so set in where you're going and what you're doing that you're not going to listen to anybody else, which is why programs like Manifestation Mindset Mastery are so powerful. I'm never going to tell you that what you're manifesting is crazy. I'm going to tell you that you have a desire for that because it desires you as well. And we're going to make it happen as quickly as we can. So let's get all the shit to the surface so we can get it out of the way so that you can call the thing in. Okay. Spending time with people who don't get it is not going to help you. And every time you let somebody say something negative about what you're manifesting into your mind, it adds to the belief systems that you already have from all these years of being told what's possible, right? Working against you, right? If your parents are not entrepreneurs, or if they are and they are not successful, if nobody in your family has ever made more than, whatever regular salary is these days, if your experience has never been one of having nice things, it's going to be very hard for you to adjust to the version of you who has nice things quickly without the help of somebody who's already done it and knows what to look for, and who can listen to what you're saying and pick out between the lines what's actually going on. That's something I'm very, very good at. If you tell me what your problem is, I'm going to tell you what your actual problem is, and then I'm going to help you to clear it out of the way. Most of the time, what you think is your problem is not actually your problem. What you think is blocking you is not actually what's blocking you. Okay? So remember that manifestation is nonlinear, and you want to, the quickest way to visualize what it's like and to feel what it is that you need and want, right, is to consider that manifestation is nonlinear and look at your, visualize and think about, you're in phase one, you're looking at what is and you're looking at what isn't, and you want to get from here to there, right? Phase two is when you start to kind of recognize that things are shifting, but you're still kind of like bouncing between one and two, and you're not really sure. Things are starting to change and you're kind of shifting your focus more to where you're going. And then phase three is when the actual manifestation has happened. So if you can collapse time and look at the thing you're asking for, both from the perspective of I've asked for it and seeing it done, right? Visualize having it and feeling into what it's going to be like to have the thing. Like the second after you manifest the car, where are you going to drive first? Like you drive it off the lot. Where are you going to go? Are you going to drive it home? You're going to take it to your parents' house and show them? You're going to take it to your best friend's house and show her? You're going to go pick up your husband from work? You're going to go pick up your kid from school? Like, what are you going to do? Right? Feel into that. And then once you've seen it being done in your mind, you can now look at it as if it's a memory, right? Because now you've already seen it the one time. Okay. So you want to remember always that it's non-linear, and there's no dictator that says you have to be at this level for so long, right? A very like, even spiritual up levels can take, you think, oh, well, it's going to take me so long to get through that, and it's so long to get through this and whatever. I'll tell you right now, the second you start working with a coach, things start to shift very quickly in your favor. Okay. I've been working with my own private one-to-one coach now since January. And my first one-to-one, everything before that has been group programs, group coaching, whatever. And I finally decided that I needed full on, like, let's buckle down and crank this bitch up to 11, because I am ready to like up level. And I will tell you that I have had more breakthroughs and more, I don't know. I've ascended up this, the levels of consciousness and all that so much in the last, I can't even explain to you what has been happening to me. Okay. I cannot even explain to you, which is why Manifestation Mindset Mastery has evolved several times since I opened the doors a year ago. And now it is really a container where you can come and evolve and be who you are, and figure out where you're meant to be, and really truly get down deep into your ability to create anything that you want. Oh, Katina's so sweet. She says, Danielle is awesome. No matter how much I ramble and make no sense, she always supports me and guides me back to where I need to be. Yeah, but she's right. I do have Katina's a client of the Manifestation Mindset Mastery program. And she recently left her 9-to-5 job, actually. And she knows I read through the lines. I'm like, okay, well, this is what it actually is though. So let's focus on that. So when you're taking action, you want to take action from the identity of the person who you are becoming, right? Do not make decisions and take action from where you are now. Make decisions and take actions from the place that you are going, right? You have to be intentional and deliberate with what you're doing. And you need to only focus on where you're going. And you need to be willing and open to asking for guidance, right? Part of the most magical thing of this whole thing is you are never alone. You're always part of a team. You are always part of a team, but you have to be willing and ready to ask for help. The universe cannot just assert itself into your life. There is no law of assertion. There's only free will. You cannot have the universe assert itself, or your guides or your angels or whatever assert themselves into your life to rearrange and orchestrate. You state what you want, but until you're ready and willing to hear the guidance and be led, you're on your own, right? So you got to be willing and ready to ask. So I like to say, what do I do next? Where do we go? Who needs to hear what? What do I say to the people? What should I create? What do I do next? And sometimes you know, I actually like to play with this just like around the house, and I'll just say, okay, what next? And then sometimes I get led to do laundry. Sometimes I get led to do dishes. Sometimes I get led to journal. Sometimes I get led to go play outside with my son. Like, I just open it up and I say, you know, what next? Because I've made it very clear where I'm going. You know what I mean? Like, I've made it very clear where I'm going. And I've said to the universe, look, this is what I'm willing to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, X, Y, Z. I'm going to show up as my best self. I'm going to give the best fucking content anybody's ever seen. I'm going to teach the people the things. Okay. I'm going to step up. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone. I'm going to create a YouTube channel, even though it scares the shit out of me. Right. I'm going to publish new podcast episodes. I'm going to share very personal things. I'm going to let people into my life. I'm going to do this. And in exchange, you know, I want this. I'm willing to do this. You meet me halfway. So we've already had this discussion. Universe knows what's going on. So now I just say, okay, what next? What now? What should I do next? Sometimes I get, next thing I find myself, I'm on Facebook and I'm answering questions in another Facebook group, or I'm writing up. I often get nudges for posts after I've asked what next. It's 11:11 my time. So get ready to ask for guidance and then take the inspired action. That's the only caveat I will give you. If you're going to ask for guidance, if you're going to ask for an answer, if you're going to ask for a sign, if you should do something, like, if I often will say to people, if you think manifestation mindset mastery is right for you, ask for a sign, ask for a clear and definite sign. But if you get that sign, you have to act on it. Have to. Okay. No matter what you're asking, no matter what you're doing, if you're asking for a sign, if you're asking for guidance, you're asking for inspiration, you have to act on it. You have to take it, because you are trying to build your relationship with the universe. And if you are going to ask the universe for help and then not take it, it's going to be like, well, forget you then. Like, you're not even going to listen to me. So you're on your own. You know what I mean? I'm not going to help you any further. But the more you build your muscles, you flex your manifesting muscles, you build your communication skills with the universe, you understand what the nudges are and where the intuition comes from and all of that, you start to play this really fun game where things just start to unfold so beautifully for you. Okay. So just know that anything that you've asked for, anything that you want to do is possible, but you have to take the right steps. Okay. So if being in manifestation mindset mastery is something you want to do, two of the three girls who signed up last week did not have the money to sign up for it, declared they were doing it, said, make it happen. And then one got an unexpected deposit. Actually, two of them, I think they got unexpected money came their way and they were able to enroll. So you never know what can happen, but you need to declare and you need to decide that you're ready. And don't wait to feel ready. That doesn't exist. Okay. You have to take action when you're guided to do it, and you have to do it scared anyway. The universe loves nothing more than when you show up for yourself and your dreams the way that you should be, right? And especially from an embodied version of you who already has it. Because you do already have it energetically on some level, right? It's just a matter of the time delay of it showing up now, right? And remember, you have to remember that you need to express and flex that faith muscle so hard, especially like in the moments when it looks like it's not going to happen is when you need to have the most faith. And in those moments, what I like to say to myself is, you know what? This is still residual old me being projected into my reality. New me, there's a time delay, right? New me isn't being reflected yet. But at some point, things are going to line up, right? It has to. So I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and I'm going to dissolve all the shit that's not serving me right now. I'm going to recognize when I'm out of alignment. I'm going to ask the universe to realign me, and I'm going to move on. Okay. And then step 5 is to recognize and appreciate when you react to the same situation differently than you have before. You have evolved, you have up leveled, and you have moved up the levels of consciousness at least a little bit, right? When you're presented with the same situation, but you're handling it differently, that is a great, great, great indication that you have made significant improvement. Okay. So if you are like, let's say an unexpected bill comes. If previous you would freak out and stress out and hide it or not know what to do or avoid it or whatever, and the new you looks at it and goes, okay, you know what? Anything can happen before this is due. universe, guide me to the resources to pay this on time. And then you just let it go. And if you can then not only do that, but then recognize that you've done that, give yourself credit for the fact that you have come a long way and that you are reacting differently than you used to, that solidifies, right, the relationship. And then it gets easier and easier and easier and easier, right? And you want to look for proof in your experience, in your reality, and then ground that as proof of your belief, which further solidifies who you have now become and what you are manifesting, right? Take time to appreciate the journey and how far you've come. Don't be too busy looking at where you're going, right? Most people, me included, I've definitely been guilty of this, so busy looking at where we're going that we don't have time to, we don't take the time, we have the time, we just don't take the time to recognize what we've already done. It's like if you're making your 10K month or whatever, it's like, well, I made 5, but I wanted 10. I still have 5 to go. It's like, but you made 5, right? But you made 5. You got these clients, you help these people, right? And especially if you are in a client-based business or a customer-based business, you should be appreciating each and every single one of your clients and customers like they are your VIP, right? Especially because people are weird about their money, right? And especially if you're talking about investing large amounts of money, that's difficult. Like, I know every time I've made an investment in myself, it's difficult, right? Especially if I've had to go and take it out of some other fund that it should have gone to something else, right? Like, that's not easy to do. But I did it because I knew that that's what I needed to do at the time. That was the nudge that I was given. And so that's what I did. But you need to recognize when you can make an investment a little bit easier than you used to. When you make an investment with instead of apprehension, excitement, knowing, okay, this is really going to help me get where I want to go. Like, this is really going to solidify the version of me that I'm creating. I know that this person is going to help me find the pieces that I need, or going to help me identify the blocks that I have, or support me and hold space for me the way that I need. Right? When you can make an investment, or you can spend money, or you can, receive an unexpected bill or bad news or whatever in a way that doesn't reflect your previous you, take time to appreciate that you have come a long way. Okay. So those 5 steps are the only 5 steps you'll ever need to manifest anything. Okay. It's literally that simple. You want to become a morning person. You want to leave your 9 to 5. You want to increase your income. You want to attract more clients, buy a new house, get a book deal. Use these same steps and apply them as needed, taking extra special care with each step, right? Take the time to do it thoroughly. Don't rush the process. That's something else that I have unfortunately learned the hard way over my journey, is there is no sense in rushing it, right? Everything that you wants you to, it is coming. So the more you try to force it and make it happen faster, all you're doing is creating resistance, because you're not trusting the process and letting it just unfold. Now, I know that I have said before, when you're manifesting things, it's a good idea to put time restraints on them, but that is more for you than the universe. You know what I mean? Like, if you give yourself a whole year to do something, you will take a whole year to do something. If you give yourself 90 days to do something, you will get it done in 90 days. I like to plan my life in 90 days as well. 3 months is like a perfect amount of time. You can coincide it with your immediate plans, and you can look at it all on a calendar, and it's just like a nice chunk of time to deal with. But if you try to rush the process, like, for example, one of my huge hangups was I was trying to get away from where I was. Instead of appreciating where I was and letting it unfold beautifully, I was pushing it and rushing it and trying to do more. But what you need to do is do less things. You need to tune more into who you are. Spend more time meditating, spend more time having conversations with the universe, spend more time journaling, spend more time scripting, spend more time getting fucking clear on what it is that you even want. So many people think they know what they want, but when you ask them to explain to you, they don't even know. Like, they haven't even taken the time to, like, they're like, well, I kind of want this and I kind of want that and whatever. It's like, but what does that look like? What does that feel like? Like, why do you want that thing? Do you even know? You know what I mean? If you don't even know why you want the thing, like, how can you align to it? And further than that, one of the things I love to do is get nudges from the universe. We have kind of an agreement that certain number sequences, for example, means certain things are happening. And if you don't know where you're going, how can the universe give you nods that you're going in the right direction? Right? If you just have like a general idea of what you want, it's going to take a lot longer to come than if you have a very specific, like, I want this car, this color, this trim model by this day. Right? But even with the by this day thing, the time limit, by this day or before, I like to say, by this or before, by whenever or better or whatever, you still have to remember that manifestations happen for the highest and best of all involved. And sometimes you yourself are not ready for the thing yet. By the time the deadline arrives, right? You're not ready. You haven't done the things. It just, for whatever reason, can't happen. You need to learn more things. You need to overcome something. You need to meet the right person, and that person's not ready yet, like for the highest and best of all involved, right? So the best thing you can do for yourself when you set out to create something in your life, when you set out to change your reality, when you set out to manifest something, know that it will be yours no matter what. But you have to let the universe play out the way that it needs to. And all you can do is just open yourself to receive the good. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, okay, there is a simple secret behind manifesting your dreams, and it's even simpler than these 5 steps. Okay. It's this secret combined with the 5 steps we just talked about that is the basis of my 12-month signature coaching program. Okay. My Manifestation Mindset Mastery. Inside this program, my clients are manifesting some literally incredible things. Okay. Katina has been in the program only since New Year's Eve. She's left her 9-to-5 job. 2 of her businesses are doing more in sales than they ever have. She's also started a homestead business. She used to work 12 to 14 hours a day, and then had, I hope you guys can still hear me, and then had, hours of business to do and hours of business stuff to do for her other businesses that she still had. And, she has family to take care of and motherly things to do. And she just was never getting any sleep because her schedule was all over the place. And her job required her to kind of be on call. So it was just crazy, right? So she never had time for anybody. And now, what are we, 5 months in? She's left her job. Her businesses, like I said, are doing more in sales than they ever have. She's spending several hours a day with her family, and then another couple of hours on herself and doing her businesses. And they started a homestead business as well. She is just doing amazing things. Kendra not only started an interior design business, she also, her and her husband, started an income property business, a rental property business. They not only bought their first 8-plex, they manifested the money for the down payment, and they manifested all 8 tenants before the building was even finished, and somehow manifested the keys to the building before the contract was even signed. But anyway, I don't know how she did that. That was pretty cool. Miriam she's only been in the program since February. She says that this is the happiest she has ever been. She has joy in every single day. She admits that not every single day is rainbows and sprinkles all day long, but because of what we're doing inside the program, she recognizes when she's out of alignment and what things are creating that reality and how to quickly shift away from it. Okay. So not only all of that, she has also manifested added several thousand dollars to her monthly income, Okay. She's been in the program for March, April, May, not even 3 months. Okay. Shauna not only manifested going from literally her wages are being garnished and she was facing car repossession, to finding her calling and her purpose. She manifested an unexpected $95,000 that ended up paying off almost every single cent of their debt. She, like I said, went from wage garnishment. Now she's been in the program almost a year. Now her accounts are literally overflowing, and she recognizes right away when she's out of alignment. She recognizes when you know, things are in chaos, she recognizes it's because there's things going on in chaos inside of her, right? And goes to work to change it, right? Lindsay started her, she came in with one vision for her life and then quickly realized that she actually had another higher calling that she was kind of avoiding, kind of like I was. And she has started her own coaching business, which I'm very, very excited about. And she is manifesting leaving her job in the next few months as well. Marika, again, she started in February as well. She has become extremely conscious of her thoughts. She was kind of wandering around on autopilot before, and now she's become a very conscious creator, manifesting little things here and there and just enjoying her everyday life more and more and more. And one of the byproducts of joining the program that she didn't even come in really to work on, but I picked out very quickly that this was a very vital piece of her like story, was her relationship with her husband. So in just not even 3 months, we have made a significant turnaround on her relationship with her husband. And I am so excited to see where that comes. And actually, the first day she and I started talking after the last workshop, she found out she was pregnant with her third baby. So we are manifesting a very peaceful, calm pregnancy, delivery, and postpartum time so that she doesn't fall into the postpartum spiral that she did the last time. That's very, very important, and something very near to me. So I actually, something I haven't shared before, I think that I had a little bit of postpartum depression myself. I didn't recognize it at the time. And of course, my ego wouldn't let me believe that that was something that I was having. So whatever. So I didn't really get the support that I needed, I don't think. I mean, obviously it was fine and I worked through it and all that, but it was tough. And I want to help other ladies not have to go through that same thing. Not that I'm saying I'm any kind of postpartum, anything like that, but what I teach inside Manifestation Mindset Mastery is applicable to all areas of your life, right? It's about being at peace with who you are and what you're creating and where you're going and aligning with your true nature and understanding that everything around you is happening because of what's going on inside of you. So if you can look inside of you, you can change the outside, right? Cece manifested. She has manifested so many freaking coaching programs. I can't even she won tickets to a Tony Robbins event, then got upgraded to some VIP thing, then got a coaching session with them. She manifested her VA, and she's in the middle of moving into a better housing situation that has outdoor space where because she realized one of her main objectives, I guess, was to spend more time peacefully in nature. She lives in, oh my God, Colombia. Thank you. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna have a blonde moment. And so I imagine that the views that she has there are just incredible. So she wants to spend more time outside in her own space. So she's manifesting a new home with an outdoor space she can turn into her little Zen den. And Tiffany is in network marketing, but she's also extending into the coaching realm as well. And she's manifested all kinds of things in our time together too. She's coming up on a year as well. She's manifested incentive trips with her network marketing company. She manifested new land. I think she said originally they were looking for like 6 acres and they ended up getting 48 for like the same price or something. And they're building this huge, beautiful house. And her daughter, one of her daughters is manifested her own barn dominium, which she figured it was going to be on a separate property, like her own thing. But now everybody's manifestations are coming together for the highest and best of all involved on this one plot of land. And just so many other things, like so many of the girls are manifesting so many things and I just can't even, it's so good. So what is the secret, right? Like, what is the secret? The secret to manifesting everything that you want, and this is going to sound stupidly simple, but it is to be present in the now moment as much of the time as you can. Okay. So think about this. All we have is right now, right? Is this present moment. Okay. The past is history. Tomorrow hasn't happened and it's not even promised. I mean, we could all get hit by a bus or a meteor or something tonight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We're all so busy thinking about the things that have already happened that we wish we could change, or worried about something that might happen in the future, right? Playing out worst case scenarios, or even when you're living in the future in your manifestation, when you're spending so much of your energy in the future, you're not taking the time to appreciate where you are now, right? You're not taking time to appreciate all of the miraculous things going on around you. Okay. We get in our heads and we lose sight of what's really important, right? And I can tell you right now that what you actually want, like deep down inside, underneath all of the things you think you want, what it is that you actually want is peace, freedom, happiness, fulfillment, contentment, love, joy. You know, those are all the high level emotions. Everything that you want because you believe that you're going to get one or all of those things from having it. Okay. And for some reason you feel you don't have that now. Okay. Anything you want because it evokes, like I said, one, some, or all of these emotions. Those are the highest vibrational frequencies offered at the highest levels of consciousness. So of course, those who are drawn here to me are also on their way up that enlightenment ladder, right? You're not here by accident. You're here very, very intentionally. Okay. So that's how I know that you're here, because you think that what you want isn't actually what you want, right? What you actually want is peace, freedom, happiness, fulfillment, contentment, love, joy, all of those amazing, amazing things, right? The version of you who already is at peace, who is free, fulfilled, content, loved, and joyful, isn't worried about the thing you're manifesting coming or not, because she's already got it. It's done. So she's at peace. She is completely content in the present moment, just enjoying the world around her. That version of you who's already manifested the thing has nothing to worry about. And she understands completely that everything that has happened needed to happen the way it did. And everything that will happen the way it needs to for the highest and best of all involved. The more deliberate and intentional you spend in the present, the more deliberate and intentional time you spend in the present moment, the more and more you align yourself with your true nature, which is just awareness. Remember I said that at the beginning, we are all just individualizations. We are awareness. We are all awareness in physical form, right? The more deeply you can tune into that truth, the better you'll feel and the quicker you'll transcend into those higher levels of consciousness, and therefore become a magnet for the things that you want that are also at those higher levels of consciousness, right? As you go along this manifestation journey, it quickly becomes a journey of self-discovery, transformation, and remembering who you really are and what you're here to do, what you're really capable of. And as you remember who you are and you wake up to your innate and inherent ability to co-create with the universe, the more you can tune into your true natural state, awareness, right? The stronger the magnet inside you becomes for all of your desires, right? Manifestation is about calibrating to that awareness that you are divinely favored and supported, and anything you desire is already yours the second you ask for it. Your only job ever is to not be in the way of letting that thing come to you. And the quickest way to get out of the way is to tune into the present now moment and realize that you are safe where you are, you have everything you need, and that you've already come so far, right? It's funny too, because we start this journey wanting to create the wealth, the lifestyle, the whatever appeals to you, right? But the idea of deliberate manifestation, I think, is our higher self's path of least resistance to waking us up to our true potential, right? Which is really what it's all about. The idea of becoming more aware of who you are might not sound thrilling, right? People might not jump on the bandwagon if that's what they think they're in for, but manifesting a windfall of a few $1,000s or something sounds pretty exciting, right? So we get kind of almost tricked into this journey of thinking, well, I can just manifest all this stuff and then life will be amazing. And then as you get deeper into it, you realize that there's so much more to it and there's more layers of you. And the more deeply you can understand who you are and where you come from and what it's all about is it's just better. It's just better when you understand who you are and you understand, like you can feel inside of you that the universe loves you and wants to give you everything that you want. And that all you have to do is get out of the way. Like literally, that's all you have to do is get out of the way. Right? And inside Manifestation Mastery, I will help elevate you to your truest potential. Okay. In Manifestation Mindset Mastery, I help you set clear intentions to manifest, reprogram beliefs, thoughts, and identity on the subconscious level, embody the ideal version of you, release the how, and allow your desires in, tune into and follow your intuition and divine guidance to take inspired action, open yourself to receive, and live a completely fulfilling life by doing something you love that supports you financially, whether that's through entrepreneurship or employment. Whatever it is that you are happy doing or content doing. Most of the people who come to me eventually have the dream of working for themselves, but that's not like a prerequisite or anything. I mean, there is value in that, obviously. And because I've been on that journey, I can definitely help with that. It's not a business coaching program like at all. There are business kind of components because I do like to help with that aspect too. But even in business, you don't need another strategy. You don't need a funnel, secret. You don't need the next shiny object thing. What you need to do is tune into who you really are, be authentic, be genuine, tell people what's up, let them into your life, tell them how you know what you know, and they will want to work with you no matter what marketing strategy you're using, right? And then the more you play with the universe and the more you let yourself be led and the more you follow inspired action, whether it seems to make sense or not, sometimes the things, because manifestation is nonlinear, some of the things we get nudged to do seem like it's kind of a backpedal, doesn't make any sense. Sometimes like I've gone through the effort of making a whole, course or something, and then I get a nudge to do something else. And then it ends up, this other course ends up never getting used. But what I needed to go through to create that course, even though it never did get launched or never got finished or whatever, was what I needed to up level to the next thing for the thing that I was going to pursue. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but everything unfolds the way it needs to. Okay. And this program is not like a traditional course where you log in and go through trainings and complete workbooks and all of that. I mean, there is a degree of that. There is static trainings. There are workbooks. There's all kinds of additional resources you're going to get when you sign up. But this is a dynamic group mentorship course hybrid program with support and live personal coaching and access to me within a private Facebook group and messenger chat. Okay. I've done both the live coaching programs and the static course trainings. And although it's obviously easier to do a go at your own pace course into your schedule, it's also easier to flake out and be inconsistent, right? It's so much easier to just like, whatever, I'm not going to do it this week. I'm not going to do this week. I'm not going to do this week. And then before you know it, you're months into it and you haven't touched it. And then you forget your login information, right? That's not going to happen. Okay. And since we're trying to break the cycle of self-sabotage here, I know that this structure of this program is better for anyone who is actually interested in seeing results. Okay. Honestly, I found that self-paced, pre-recorded, produced for the masses inner work stuff just doesn't work for me. Okay. I need the personal attention and the customized advice and the support that comes with that. Okay. I've been working with my own coach and the difference and speed of results is just like crazy, right? Working privately or at least intimately with a coach is so much more powerful than taking a course, in my experience anyway, right? I find it much more effective and the results are much more instantaneous. Plus, if you have someone asking the right questions individualized to your journey and your experience, it makes all the difference, right? Because a lot of these pre-done courses and programs and stuff, like it's all fine and good until you have a specific situation you want to apply it to that you can't quite figure out the puzzle pieces. And then what do you do? Right? But you're back at square one. You're trial and error by yourself. You're hitting speed bumps and you don't know where to go. Now you're going to see if you can find some other free resource or some other low cost course that you can take to amplify what you've learned and get the customized attention you need, right? And I'm also a knowledge junkie, as some of you may know. Like I read a lot of books and I watch a lot of things and I take a lot of courses and I take a lot of certifications. And I'm actually working on several certifications right now that will help me serve you the best I can and add as much value as possible to the program. Okay. And just so you know how far the program has evolved, when I started the program about a year ago, when I opened the doors to it, the program, it was only $297 a month. Okay. It was only $297 a month because it was literally just a coaching component. And I didn't have enough faith in myself yet to charge more than that. But now with all of the resources I've added, and we've also got 4 other experts in there now too. It's not just me. There's actually an emotional alchemy expert. We do 1 session a month, which is essentially shadow work, which is very, very important. It was integral to my journey. So I want everybody to have access to that with the coach that I used. So she's now our resident emotional alchemy shadow work expert healer. I also have my friend Jess Acock. She does monthly practical and implementable self-care for all of us busy ladies who need to take the extra time to spend on ourselves, because I will tell you right now, if your cup is not full, you will not be able to fill anybody else's. And the quickest way to align to what you want is to take care of yourself. Self-love is so, so, so important in this journey. So that's what those sessions are for. Then I have my friend Teresa coming in, and she does monthly sessions for soul, or she's going to be doing monthly sessions for soul retrieval. Very excited about that. She's going to teach us how to regain our power so that we can just take what is ours and step into our light and just be the manifesting machines that we were born to be. And then lastly, we have Tanya, who comes in and does a monthly, she does goal success and, goal achievement and success coaching. And she's certified in neuro-linguistic programming and hypnotherapy. She's created a whole hypnosis audio library for us, which is so awesome. You can go in and tap into those whenever you feel the need. And she taught us tapping. This month, we learned the emotional freedom technique, tapping, which was super fun. And she's just amazing. She's so good at identifying and dissolving limiting beliefs and teaching us how the mind works. And it's so, so good. So this is a 12-month group coaching and mastermind program to completely transform you from the inside out, okay? And turn you into the manifesting machine you were born to meet. It's a high level, high touch, all inclusive, all encompassing VIP experience, guiding you and supporting you as you awaken to your own power and become the absolute best version of yourself. Okay. I promise you will not find something like this anywhere else. I've taken special care to ensure that we're touching on all the different areas that require different attention and love throughout the process, and all the areas that I dove into throughout my journey. Over our 12 months together, you'll experience and manifest things you never imagined, and you will expand into levels you never dreamed of. And I cannot wait to see your transformation. Okay. And I've got, like I said, a super special offer for you guys for the next 48 hours only. Okay. 48 hours only. So what's it? Basically noon Monday. So noon Wednesday, this expires. Okay. If you enroll in the next 48 hours into Manifestation Mindset Mastery, you will get 6 additional private coaching sessions with me to use throughout the program at your discretion. So you can use one every 2 months, you can use one right away, and then the next 5, monthly until, get you the 6-month mark. You can use them all at the end, all at the beginning. I don't care. However you want to use them, you get 6. Okay. Private coaching calls. Okay. That's got over $1,100 of value right there. Okay. And very specially, this is like, I need to wait for the drilling stuff. This is a big deal. If you pay in full in the next 48 hours, you will also get a half-day VIP intensive session with me, which has a value of $2,000. Okay. We're going to work through the whole 5-step process in real time, so you can start your journey with all the tools you need to manifest a life you love, like right off the bat. We're not messing around. Got a half day we're going to spend together. That's 4.5 hours. Okay. Value of $2,000 right off the bat. We're going to get right down nitty gritty. We're going to figure out what you need, where you need to go, what your obstacles are, how you're going to visualize and embody that. We're going to create your intimate manifestation touchstone, quick statement. We're going to make an action plan. You're going to have all the pieces you need. Okay. So you might be wondering, is this program for me? Is it not? Whatever. So the program is for you if you know that if you keep doing the same thing, you'll start banging your head against the wall. You understand that what you've been doing isn't working because you're still where you are, and you know something has to change, and you know you're meant for bigger things. You feel like you're probably doing things the hard way and making them more complicated than they need to be. You're sick of your own shit. That was my main thing. I'm sick of my own shit here. Like, this is ridiculous. You're tired of standing in your own way. You're done neglecting your mindset health. You're ready for self-love and healing. You're ready to get unstuck and up level in your life. Maybe you've hit a plateau in your life or your business or your career, and you know you need a change. You're ready to leave the cycle of self-sabotage behind and finally step into the shoes of the manifesting machine you were born to be. You crave fulfillment in every area of your life, and you're done holding yourself back, right? Because you really are the only thing standing in your own way. You're hitting a glass ceiling and you know it needs dealing with. You believe growth and personal development never have an end. There's always more to learn. And you're ready to examine yourself and determine what it is you're doing that's attracting or not attracting your experiences and manifestations into your life. Okay. But this program isn't for everybody. Okay. So it is not for you if you're comfortable self-sabotaging yourself. You like to complain. I'm not I'm not interested in working with complainers. Like if you're not ready to take responsibility for what's going on, no, thank you. You're not really ready to up level. You're kind of comfortable in your little comfort zone of Groundhog Day. Okay. You only want improvement in your life because that's what you think you should want. You let someone else dictate how you live your life. You're not ready to get a bit uncomfortable. You're not ready to take a deep look inside at what you are and how you became that. You're satisfied with life as it is. You're not interested in becoming a manifesting machine. You're comfortable playing small. You don't have big dreams and goals. And you care more about what people think about you than how you feel about yourself and your experience here and how you're spending your time in this physical form. Okay? I absolutely guarantee that if you show up to our sessions and you commit to yourself and your development, you will absolutely come out the other side of this program a changed person for the better, for the highest and best. I promise you that. That means that you're showing up as the best version of you, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you, everyone you interact with, everyone you run into. The work you do on yourself ripples out and can affect up to 1,000 people. Okay, that's pretty powerful stuff and great incentive to get to work on yourself and do your part to make this world a better, more peaceful place, right? And consider this too. If you've got kids or you're thinking about creating some kids, do it for them too. You know, you are going to be the one that steps up and breaks generations of shitty negative programming that is keeping you stuck where you are, right? Part of why you're where you are now is you've got a blueprint in your head created from when you were little, from when we're 0 to 7. Everything that we experience, hear, see, even in our peripheral vision and senses or whatever, like even if something in the background, something in the other room, all of it is being sucked up into your little sponge brain, okay? Because you're operating in theta state. And everything that's in there, as you get bigger and older, becomes your blueprint. And that's how you operate in the world, from this blueprint, okay? Nothing to say whether it's right or wrong. That's just how your brain operates. Okay, and it's filtering out your reality to match what you believe. And your belief system is made up from this blueprint. Okay, so you need to be reprogramming your mind if you want to create different results in your life. Right? And if you want to create a different reality for your kids, if you want your kids to grow up knowing that they have the power to create their reality right out of the gate. Like I want my son to know that he can have anything he wants. You know, his life doesn't have to look like mine. Not that my life is terrible or anything, but it never has been. It's like always, like ultimately always been very, very good. Even with the struggles that we've hit, I know that needed to happen so that I can relate to myself and others in a way that most people can't, right? But you have an opportunity to undo years and generations of shit in your mindset, right? And belief systems and the way that you think life should be, right? You can have anything that you want and your kids can have anything that they want. And this work is so, so, so important. And you are not here by accident, okay? You are here to do the work too. Whether you do it in Manifestation Mindset Mastery or you do it somewhere else, you are here to do the work too. You are here to break the generational curses. You're here to undo all of the stuff so that you can live a better life and you can start a new trend basically in your family. You get to change the trajectory, not only of your own life, but of all of the people in your life that look up to you as well. Okay. So I invite you to come and join me. Like I said, you've got registration is actually open until Friday, the 21st. But you've got 48 hours if you want to take advantage of the extra 6 one-on-one coaching calls. And if you decide to pay in full in the first 48 hours, not 28, in the first 48, you will also get a half-day intensive VIP. And I'm telling you, you do not want to miss out on that. That is $2,000 worth of value. And it will literally, like just the session alone will change your life. I promise you. Okay. So I'm going to open the floor to questions in just 1 second. I'm just going to scroll through and make sure I didn't miss any like really good comments. And then, okay, let's see. Oh, Andrea says, I wish you have all this in Spanish so I could send to my friends and family. I'm sorry. Claudine said, the last setback due to my divorce left me way less money than before, but this is temporary. In fact, I see it ending soon. Exactly. Everything is temporary, right? Oh, my auntie came on late, but she's here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yes, unlimited ability to say yes. That's exactly what it is, Amanda. That's so perfect the way you said that. Yeah, got that one. Sorry, I'm just reading through the comments, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, Andrea says, I want to manifest my new career as a life coach in my new home. These are my 2 goals and money will follow. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, America said, you did manifest the house. You're taking over your in-laws' house and for their best, and you'll take care of them as they age. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's funny how perspectives change, but it's so good. Okay, let's see, Paula. It's tough and sometimes sad when they fall away with those. Oh yeah, the relationships falling apart. Yeah, internal peace. Amanda says, I think I'm currently feeling that way. Feeling that I'm currently here feeling that way. I'm trying so hard to keep pushing, going to hit my goal. You gave me the chills. I love watching you. So much amazing, helpful stuff. Good, I'm asked. That's so exciting. Okay. That's the visualization, the feeling. Visualize how you feel and the body will follow. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, Amanda says that the mindset has held myself and my siblings behind in life for so long. I'm so grateful to be able to have you. Aw, my help. Thank you. You're so sweet. Let's see. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Okay, does anybody have any questions for me? You guys can either unmute yourself and ask here, or you can type it in the chat box or whatever. We're gonna go over time a little bit, I think. Oh, Katina says definitely life-changing. Yeah, Katina. And I just want to say, for all of you guys who are here who are not in the Manifestation Mindset Mastery program yet, I just want you guys to understand like how valuable this resource is and the 5 days that I did last week. The girls who are in the program, paying me to be in the program, are here listening to the free stuff too. So it's not like I don't hold anything back. Okay. I want you guys to have the tools you need to progress in life. I want more than that for you to come into the program and let me support you and guide you. But if it's not the right fit, it's not the right time, whatever, that's fine. I still want you to walk away from the trainings with something you can take and implement and use and see a difference, see a change. So maybe something I've said can promote the change that you need to see so that you can join the program, or some other program, hire a one-on-one coach, do something. I firmly believe that everybody should be working with a coach. It's like so important and so beneficial. And I hope everybody at some point in their life takes the leap and decides to work with somebody, because it will literally, it will change your life, I swear. Okay. Nobody has a question, really? Oops. Okay. All right. Well, if nobody has any questions, then I guess we're done. Andrea says, no questions, but I love listening to you. I'm working in manifesting so I can be part of your program sooner than later. I love your journey. You're so real. Thank you for all you do for us. You're amazing. Aw, thank you, Andrea. That's so sweet of you. And I would love to have you in the program. Anytime you're ready, there is a spot for you. I promise you that. Okay, you're very welcome, Paula. Okay, well, that's it then. I'm going to leave it there. You're so welcome, Amanda. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope you took tons of notes. I would love to see any breakthroughs or aha moments you had shared in the pop-up group, or even in the main free group. For anybody who is not in either of those groups, the pop-up group was just for the workshop, which you can go in there now and see all the replays. I'm going to post this video in there in a minute. And if anybody is not in the main free group, I actually do have a proper like standard group that I run all the time called Mindset to Manifest. If you're not in there, let me know and I will get you the link to join. Other than that, you guys, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope it was helpful. Like I said, I hope you took tons of notes, and I hope to see some of you at least inside Manifestation Mindset Mastery. And I hope you take advantage of the really excellent 48-hour bonus. I would love to see you in there. Claudine says, thank you so much, Danielle. I'm getting there. It's always beneficial to be part of your programs. Thank you, Claudine. 7 pages of notes. Excellent, Amanda. I love it. Okay, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all very shortly. Take care. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.